I'm finally getting into sampling with electronic music gear. That and more in this Freebeat channel update. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shout-out goes to Don Smith. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. Right off the bat, let me just say that you can just listen to this video. You don't really have to watch it. It's just gonna be me panning around the super messy studio and talking about some stuff. So yeah, if you just want to listen to this one, that's totally okay. So last weekend, we finally performed all 3 shows of my latest live stream concert, Freebeat Live, The Next Level. It was a lot of fun. Huge thanks to everybody who showed up and checked out the shows. The crew and I had a blast. Hopefully all of the viewers did as well. The community showcase went over fantastic too. More on that, by the way, in just a minute. But yeah, thank you to everybody who came to the shows. As you can see, studio's a bit of a disaster right now. Yesterday, we cleaned up Oliver's garage, and I have not had time to unpack or set up anything yet. It's just all kind of strewn about here, including the mixer, which you can see we have a couple things plugged into, but there's no power or no inputs or anything. I just plugged in my monitors and some speakers just to get those cables out of the way. Yeah, big mess, lot to clean up, but that's okay. Obviously, the show has been a huge focus of the channel for the past couple months, so I figured since that's all done now, I'd do an update and tell you what's coming next, because we've got some cool stuff on the horizon. I mentioned the Freebeat Community Showcase, which is, of course, a compilation of tracks and videos submitted by you, the Freebeat community, that we featured during the live stream concert. And yeah, we're actually going to be releasing the Freebeat Community Showcase as a standalone video for you all to enjoy, and that is coming out tomorrow. So we got about an hour and a half of music, I think, and we played that before the main concert and then at intermission, but it went over so well and everyone loved the track so much that I decided they need some time to shine on their own, away from the concert. So yeah, we're gonna be releasing that tomorrow, August 9th at the usual video time, so 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm gonna do it premiere style, so there's gonna be a chat and I can hang out in the chat with you and we can go over everybody's tracks and talk about how awesome they are. So I'm really excited to be able to bring that to you as a standalone video. Hopefully you can check out the premiere of it, and of course if not, it will just be on the channel as a normal video for your enjoyment at your leisure. Back at the live track L12 here, and the reason for that is because the next announcement is that Oliver and I are going to be re-recording both of my first 2 albums. So In Over My Head, which was the OPZ album, and then FB1, which is the OP1 album. We're gonna be re-recording those with live drums. So I'm going to play the drums rather than sequence them this time around. Not that I'm unhappy with the parts that I sequenced on those albums, but on a few tracks, and most of the OPZ album actually, I just didn't really enjoy the final product as much as I thought I would. They seemed kind of bland, so I want to be able to spice those up the best way I know how, which is live playing over those. I'm gonna be capturing both the audio from my Roland drum set as well as the MIDI data from it, so then I can go and play in Ableton, play around with sounds and, edit everything in post after the fact. So that's really exciting. We're gonna be setting up the mixer and the electronic drum kit in Oliver's garage probably in the next couple of weeks, and recording those albums, re-releasing them on Bandcamp as separate albums. The originals will still stay there as well, but I'm really excited about that as a project. I hope you are too. We will be live streaming the recording session as well for patrons, so you can hop over to patreon.com/freebeat if you want to be able to check that session out. We will probably have a hot mic as well. Again, no lights, no concert, anything like that, just a behind-the-scenes look at the re-recording of my first 2 albums with actually live played drums. All right, now for the reason most of you probably clicked on this video, sampling. Or more specifically, how I want to start incorporating sampling into my electronic music. Now, I've of course said many times on the channel that I don't really like sound design, but over the past couple of months I've been trying to turn that around, trying to, start enjoying it more and wrapping my head around it, especially subtractive synthesis. Haven't really touched FM yet, but I'm sure we'll get to that eventually, especially with the Live and XFM down there on the bottom shelf. But I think it's time that I turn my attention to sampling when it comes to sound design. I want to see how I feel about the sound design process when it first involves sampling something and then designing a sound from there, not being bound to the presets that are pre-existing on the gear that I own, or starting from like a blank sine wave, or whatever. I want to start from a sound that interests me and then move on from that point. So sampling, of course, gives me that opportunity. So that brings me to the main point. I will be debuting a new show here on the channel revolving around sampling and my journey, with electronic music in regards to sampling. It's not going to be a show like the live shows were. No, this is going to be more of an episodic show. I'm thinking once every 2 weeks or once a month. It's going to be a lot more similar to a television program than anything else that I've ever done on the channel. In fact, patrons will actually be getting a beta release of this show hopefully in the next couple of weeks here. But it is something I'm very, very excited to share with you all. It touches on a lot of things that make me very happy and that I'm passionate about. And I think I've found a unique way to combine them all into a show that is a pleasurable viewing experience and maybe can teach both you and me a little more about sound design in regards to specifically, again, sampling. The reason I keep panning between the MPC-1, the OP-1, and the Synthstrom Deluge is, well, those are my three, let's call them high-end groove boxes that all primarily feature sampling as, well, kind of their main way of making sounds. They all, of course, have other synthesizer engines and stuff in them, but they are all very, very proficient when it comes to sampling. I haven't fallen in love with the sampling in any of those three pieces of gear yet, and I am still looking for a piece of gear that helps me fall in love with sampling, or at least sample management, or sample sculpting. There we go. Sound design, tweaking samples, arranging, writing music with those samples. Something that takes everything I've loved about the PO33 and cranks it up to like 1,000,000, So that's where I need your help. I need some gear recommendations that fit that bill. I would like them to fall within the typical Freebeat criteria for gear, so ideally less than $500, definitely less than $1,000 US. I'd like it to be battery powered or at least portable in some way, shape, or form. And that's basically it. I want to be able to sample or at least import samples and then tweak and craft and sound design with those samples and then use those samples in music. I will say right now that I already have guaranteed coming to me a piece of gear that I am very, very excited about involving sampling. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it is going to be the primary piece of gear for the first season of the show that I have planned for you. But after that, things are wide open. Who knows? Maybe I'll fall in love with that piece of gear so much that we use it again, and I'm sure it will be used many times on the channel. But for now, that's the star of season 1. I want to know what other gear out there you think would work. Again, relatively budget friendly, ideally less than $500 US, the ability to sample or at least sound design with samples and arrange them into music, and I would love for it to be battery powered or at least semi-portable. Thank you in advance for all the suggestions I know you're going to leave down below in the comment section. So that's it on the topic of sampling. The last thing to address today is that the channel recently hit 17,000 subscribers, so thank you so very much to everybody who has clicked the subscribe button. 17,000 is crazy. I can't believe that number. That's so much bigger than I thought this channel would ever get. So thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. That's going to do it for the August Freebeat update. Thank you for hearing me out, those of you who did. Thank you again to everybody who has left a comment with a suggestion for a piece of sampling hardware. I can't wait to give all of your suggestions at least enough research to figure out if I do want to feature it on the channel in the new program. New details on the program, by the way, should be coming by the end of August, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Thank you all so very much for 17,000 subscribers. I hope you enjoy the re-released albums with the live drums, and I hope to see you all tomorrow for the debut of the standalone Freebeat Community Showcase. I do hope you found this video informative, or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike, that's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.